Hey, I just learned moments ago that B.E. Taylor, who's been a part of the music scene in the tri-state and our nation for the last 5 decades, has passed away at the age of 65 from an inoperable brain tumor. B.E. Taylor, a good friend of mine, he and his wife of 34 years, Veronica, we've had a number of discussions because there were times when I was out on the speaking circuit that B.E. was the entertainment, so we always would have a chance to catch up. Spent many times with me on the radio and would always bring his guitar and do a little acoustic session, and he was an incredible talent. 1973, I'm a sophomore at New Brighton High School. I had never been to a rock concert, and B.E. Taylor came to the school to perform. And let me tell you something, my life was changed forever. I could still see him up there in his Converse tennis shoes, those skinny jeans, and that long, flowing blonde hair. And man, he had moves like Jagger, and he could sing incredible, and a musician second to none. What a career. You know, here he is in Aliquippa, born many years ago to Bill and Betty Taylor. He was the oldest of 3 brothers. At the age of 11, he was diagnosed with a kidney disease that kept him indoors for a whole year. And that's where he really started to love music, listening to all of the great Motown tunes and, of course, the Beatles in the 60s. No one did it better. And then his parents purchased him a guitar. Wow, incredible. Later on, he is in Bearsville, New York, auditioning, and he meets a guy from Weirton by the name of Rick Witkowski, who becomes a lifelong friend. And then, ladies and gentlemen, his music career just continued to evolve to where in 1984 he wrote the song Vitamin L that stayed on the Billboard Hot 100 charts for 8 weeks. And you know, since then he's done a lot of things, but I believe that he will always be remembered. And I learned about his wonderful talent as far as performing Christmas songs from my good friend, the late Jerry Coleman, his son Jeff, and that family, who would always bring him to Beaver Falls to perform his rendition of Silent Night. Incredible. This became his signature, to where he would perform it all over the tri-state during the holidays, and for the month of December he was always on the road and performing sold-out venues from Heinz Hall to Wheeling, you name it. Whenever he stepped on stage and sang his Christmas songs, especially Silent Night, I believe one of the best versions ever of that historic religious hymn for the holiday season, B.E. Taylor was the man. And then in 2010, he teamed up with a great late conductor of the Pittsburgh Pops, Marvin Hamlish, One Nation Under God, a bunch of patriotic songs that they did for an entire week. A number of appearances on WQED for pledges, and of course showing his wonderful music that was always in demand and always did marvelous things for public television. He will be missed for sure, but I want everyone to understand there will be more than a chapter for B.E. Taylor when they write the history of music in the tri-state. He was music. He left a lasting imprint on the music scene that I don't think will ever be duplicated. He could perform just about any genre of music. And the thing that I will always remember about him, he was a rock and roller at heart, but faith and family was the true essence of his heart and the meaning of B.E. Taylor. B.E. Taylor, a music legend, has died at the age of 65.